She laughed. You really think I'd ever introduce you to my parents? Right there, in front of her friends, I just smiled and said, Don't worry, you won't have to. Then I stood up and left without another word. Later that night, her best friend texted me something that made me sit up straight. I'm 29, work in digital marketing, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I was in a solid relationship. Her name was Emily. We'd been together for 2 years. Not perfect, but I thought we were building something real. Turns out I was wrong. Let me rewind a bit. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party. She was funny, ambitious, working her way up at a tech startup. We clicked instantly. Within 3 months, she'd basically moved into my apartment. We fell into this cozy rhythm. Grocery shopping on Sundays, Netflix every weeknight, brunch at our favorite spot downtown every weekend. I thought I knew her. I thought we were solid. Sure, there were small things. She never really wanted me to meet her parents, always had an excuse. They're traditional, she'd say. I want to wait until we're more serious. 2 years felt pretty serious to me, but I didn't push. She also spent a lot of time with her college friends, which I thought was healthy. Independence in a relationship, right? I had my own hobbies, my own circle. I trusted her completely. The night everything blew up was supposed to be casual. Emily had invited me to meet her at this trendy bar downtown, where she was hanging out with her old college friends. I'd met a few before, but this was a bigger group, maybe 7 or 8 people. I showed up around 8, found her sitting near the back, surrounded by mostly women and one guy I didn't recognize. She waved me over, didn't get up, didn't kiss me hello. Just a wave. First red flag, and I ignored it. I sat down beside her, ordered a bourbon on the rocks, and tried to join the conversation. They were talking about a trip they'd taken to Miami last year. I wasn't there, obviously. Emily told me it was a girls' trip, and I'd even helped her book the flight. So I just listened, nodded, laughed when appropriate. I felt like an outsider but figured I'd warm up to the group eventually. Then one of her friends, Brooke, turned to me with this bright smile. So, when are you finally meeting Jess's parents? You guys have been together forever, right? Like 2 years? I started to answer. Something light, hopefully soon. But before I could get the words out, Emily laughed. Not a nervous laugh. Not embarrassed. A genuine, dismissive laugh that cut through the bar noise like a blade. She looked at Brooke, then at me and said, You really think I'd ever introduce him to my parents? The whole table froze. I felt my face heat up. That sharp, prickling sting you get when you've just been humiliated in public. Someone coughed. The guy across from me suddenly found his phone fascinating. Another girl stared into her wine like it held the meaning of life. Emily just sat there smirking, swirling her martini like she'd cracked a private joke. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. Were they waiting for me to explode? Laugh it off? Shrink into my chair? I didn't do any of that. I looked at her, really looked at her. And for the first time in 2 years, she felt like a stranger. I smiled. Not a fake smile, but the kind you give when you finally understood the joke you didn't realize you were part of. Don't worry, I said quietly. You won't have to. Then I stood up, dropped a 20 on the table for my drink, and walked out. Someone behind me muttered, Dude, what the hell? Maybe directed at her. I didn't care enough to check. I got into my car and drove home, hands shaking the whole way. Not from anger, from adrenaline. From the sudden, gut punch realization that I'd wasted 2 years on someone who thought I was a joke. I expected a text, a call, something. An apology, maybe, but my phone stayed silent for 3 hours. I sat on my couch, staring at the wall, replaying the moment again and again. What did I miss? How did I not see this coming? Was I just a placeholder? Someone to fill the empty spaces in her life until something better came along? Then, at 11:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. Not Emily, Chloe, her best friend. We'd always gotten along well. She was the one who'd told Emily I was a good guy, the one who vouched for me early on. Calm, grounded, not into drama. Her text said, Hey, I need to tell you something. Can you call me? I stared at it for a full minute before hitting call. My stomach twisted itself into knots. She picked up immediately. Hey, she said, voice tight, shaky, like she'd been crying. What's going on? I asked. I'm so sorry about tonight, she said. That was completely messed up. I told Jess that in the parking lot, but there's more you need to know. and I can't keep quiet anymore. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? Emily's been seeing someone else. For like 6 months. Couldn't breathe. The room tilted. What? His name's Dylan. Finance guy. They met at some networking event back in April. She's been telling us you guys are basically over, that you're just, I don't know, convenient. She said she's waiting for the right time to break up with you. But honestly, I think she just likes having you around, financial security, emotional support, whatever. I didn't even know how bad it was until tonight, when she was laughing about you after you left. She said you're too nice to make a fuss, that you'd just accept whatever she told you. And I couldn't keep quiet anymore. You don't deserve that. 6 months. Half a year. Yeah, Chloe whispered. I'm sorry. I thought maybe you knew. I thought maybe it was some arrangement. But tonight made it clear you had no idea, and that's not okay. I thanked her. I don't remember what else I said. My brain was static. I just sat there in the dark until 3 a.m. trying to process. 6 months. All those nights she said she was working late. All those weekends with the girls. Every distant moment. She'd been with him. And that's when I started planning. Date 1. Emily finally texted me the next afternoon. Hey, can we talk? I think you overreacted last night. Overreacted. Like I was the problem. I didn't reply. Instead, I called my buddy Ethan, who works in IT security. I asked him a hypothetical question about shared cloud storage, whether someone could access another person's backups. Turns out, Emily and I had been using the same iCloud family plan for over a year, her idea, ironically, to save money, which meant I technically had access to her photo backups, if I knew her login. And I did, because she'd used my laptop 100 times and her password was saved. I'm not proud of what I did next, but I was hurt and angry, and I needed the truth. So I logged in, and there it was. Hundreds of photos, her and Dylan. Vacations I thought she'd taken with work friends. Romantic dinners. Hotel rooms with rose petals on the bed. There was even one from 2 months ago, the two of them at what looked like his family's lake house. Both of them were in matching Christmas sweaters. His arm around her waist, her leaning into him with the same smile she used to give me. I felt sick. I downloaded everything. Then I logged out, cleared my history like I just committed a crime. That night she called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail, her tone sweet, almost irritated. Look, I'm sorry I embarrassed you. I was drunk and stupid. Can we please just talk? I miss you. I texted back. We can talk tomorrow. Coffee at Brewed Awakening, 2 p.m. She replied instantly, okay, thank you. I love you. I stared at those 3 words. I love you. Did she? Had she ever? I didn't respond. Update 2. She showed up 15 minutes late, wearing the blue sundress I'd bought her for her birthday. She smiled like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't humiliated me. Like she hadn't been living a double life. Hey, she said, reaching for my hand. I'm really sorry about the other night. I don't know what I was thinking. I was drunk and stupid. I pulled my hand back. Tell me about Dylan. Her face went white, completely drained. What? Dylan, the guy you've been seeing for 6 months. She opened her mouth, shut it, then opened it again. Who told you that? Does it matter? It's not what you think, she said quickly, and I almost laughed, because that's always what they say. We're just friends, he's... Stop. I pulled out my phone, opened the photo folder, and slid it across the table. I've got about 300 photos that say otherwise. Her hand trembled as she picked it up. She scrolled for maybe 5 seconds before setting it down, eyes filling with tears. How did you? iCloud family plan, I said flatly. You're terrible with tech, by the way. You should probably change your password. She started crying, real tears this time. Not the manipulative kind she used to pull when she wanted something. These were raw, panicked tears. I didn't mean for this to happen. Dylan and we connected. We met at this event, started talking, and it just happened. But I do care about you. I didn't want to hurt you. You didn't want to hurt me, I repeated. You humiliated me in front of your friends, lied to my face for 6 months, and let me think we had a future while you were building one with someone else. I was confused, she said weakly. I didn't know how to end things. You're so good to me. You're stable and kind and convenient, I finished. She flinched. She had no right to. She had every right. I cut in. She's a better friend to me than you ever were a girlfriend. I stood. We're done, Emily. I want you out of my apartment by the end of the week. I'll stay at Ethan's until you're gone. Leave your key on the counter. She grabbed my hand, nails digging into my skin. Please, can we just talk about this? I'll end things with Dylan. I'll do whatever you want. I made a mistake, please. I pulled free. No, we can't. And just so you know, I already talked to the landlord this morning. The lease is only in my name. You have no legal right to stay, so pack up and get out. I left her sitting there, crying into her cold coffee. That morning I'd already explained everything to my landlord. He'd been sympathetic, told me I had every right. Update 3. She moved out in 3 days. Chloe helped her pack and texted me updates so I'd know when it was safe to come home. She's taking the coffee maker, one text said. I didn't care. She could take whatever she wanted. I just wanted her gone. Chloe texted again after. She's a mess, but you did the right thing. I'm proud of you. I blocked Emily on everything. Phone, social media, even email. I blocked Dylan too, though we'd never spoken. I needed a clean break, no reminders. 2 weeks later, Chloe texted again. Are you sitting down? My heart sank. What now? Dylan broke up with Emily. I actually laughed in the middle of the grocery store. Why? I typed. Apparently, he didn't know she was still with you. She told him you two broke up last year, that you were just roommates finishing a lease. When he found out the truth, someone from our group told him he lost it. Called her a liar and a cheater. Blocked her on everything. Karma. I texted back. And I meant it. There's more, Chloe added. She tried going back to her parents' house. They kicked her out. What? Why? Her mom found out about the whole thing. Emily's parents loved you, by the way. They thought you were going to propose. Her mom had been asking about you constantly. When she found out what Emily did, she told her she was embarrassed to call her daughter. Said she didn't raise her to be a cheater and a liar. I didn't know how to feel. Part of me felt vindicated, like the universe had finally evened the score. But another part of me just felt sad. Sad for the time I'd wasted. Sad for the person I thought Emily was. Sad for the future I imagined that would never exist. Final update. It's been 3 weeks since I walked out of that bar. Emily's apparently staying with Brooke now, the same friend who asked that question that started everything. Chloe told me Emily's been trying to reach out through mutual friends, saying she's learned her lesson and grown as a person. In 3 weeks. I won't bite. Last week, I went on a date with someone new. Her name's Hannah. We matched on Hinge. She's a 4th grade teacher, loves hiking, and has a golden retriever named Daisy. On our first date, we talked for 3 hours until the restaurant closed. On our second, she smiled and said, So, when do I get to meet your friends? I want to know the people who are important to you. I laughed softly. Whenever you want. She squeezed my hand across the table. Good answer. I'm not healed yet. Some days I still think about Emily, about what I missed, about how someone can lie to your face for 6 months and still sleep next to you. I think about all the signs I ignored, the red flags I painted over because I wanted to believe we were happy. But I'm getting there, and I know now what I won't accept. I won't be someone's backup plan. I won't be someone's joke. I won't be convenient. Chloe told me yesterday that Emily's been posting cryptic Instagram stories. Losing the one, regret. If I could turn back time, I haven't looked. I don't need to. That chapter's closed. I'm moving forward. I'm building something new.